Well, now we're on the same kind of spot on the political timeline. Now there's another brand new president, but this time, President Trump is far less popular than President Obama was at this time. He's also facing an unprecedented level of serious scandal early in his administration. And he's also facing a grassroots protest movement against him, just like President Obama did with the Tea Party folks. But already the on-the-ground movement against Trump is far larger than the Tea Party ever was, even at its height. Anti-Trump protests started the day of his inauguration. They got huge one day after the inauguration, possibly the biggest protest day in U.S. history. And now, almost 4 weeks into his time in office, the protests are not just continuing, they are spreading. Hello, Providence, Rhode Island town hall meeting with members of Congress this week. 800 people in Rhode Island yelling, "Just say no," as in just say no to everything from this president. This was a crowded scene inside the office of Congressman Eric Paulson of Minnesota. This is his home district office in Minnesota. He's a Republican congressman. Look at all the people crammed into his office who want to talk to his staffers. In Orlando this week, this was Marco Rubio's constituent office, people demanding that he stand up to President Trump on something, anything. Wilmington, North Carolina, a similar crowd with a similar message gathered outside the office of North Carolina Republican Senator Richard Burr. In Mount Pleasant, South Carolina last weekend, so many people showed up for a grassroots meeting to oppose Trump and his agenda that half of the 250 people who showed up had to sit outside and have a parallel meeting. They had to meet inside and outside at the same time. This is inside Ohio Congressman Pat Tiberi's office in Columbus, Ohio. This guy on the right is inviting the congressman to a town hall on the Affordable Care Act. His constituents have set up a time and a location. All they need is their congressman. Look at the staffer. Look at how he's scowling at the guy. He is not coming to that town hall. Here's a picture of an organizing group in New Jersey. They said that this was their first meeting 1 month ago. You can see there, it's already pretty big. They just this week posted same meeting room, same group. What it looks like this week, they're growing. Last night, over 400 people turned out for the very first Indivisible organizing meeting in Yolo County, California, of all places. That's Yolo County. This movement, this protest movement against Trump is showing signs that it is not just big, it's sustainable, it's growing. The question is whether Democrats, well, one question about it is whether Democrats can turn that energy, can turn that movement into nuts and bolts political gains, whether they can turn it into electoral gains the way that Republicans did, starting with that Tea Party wave and old Scott Brown back in 2010. The first big test of that is about to happen like next week. It's a fascinating story. That's next. Stay with us.